न्यूज में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं रमा त्यागी। शुरुआत कर लेते हैं हेडलाइंस के साथ। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी की न्यूजीलैंड के पीएम से फोन पर हुई बात। संयुक्त रूप से भारत न्यूजीलैंड मुक्त व्यापार समझौते की घोषणा। द्विपक्षीय व्यापार, निवेश, नवाचार बढ़ाने में मिलेगी मदद। ग्रामीण रोजगार गारंटी के लिए देश में मनरेगा की जगह नया कानून। विकसित भारत जी राम जी कानून के तहत गांव में मजदूरों को मिलेगा 1 साल में 125 दिन काम। छत्तीसगढ़ के सुकमा में नक्सलियों की ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्री ध्वस्त। बड़ी मात्रा में हथियार और विस्फोटक सामग्री बरामद। पश्चिम बंगाल में संदेश खाली मामले का मुख्य आरोपी आलिम मोला गिरफ्तार। गवाह भोला घोष की हत्या की साजिश रचने का है आरोप। भोला ने बताया अपनी जान को खतरा। बांग्लादेश में हिंदुओं के साथ हिंसा पर भारत में जबरदस्त नाराजगी। शेख हसीना ने भी यूनिस सरकार को घेरा। अमेरिका ने अराजक माहौल देखकर अपने नागरिकों के लिए जारी की एडवाइजरी। और अब विस्तार से समाचार। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने आज न्यूजीलैंड के प्रधानमंत्री क्रिस्टोफर लक्सन के साथ टेलीफोन पर बातचीत की। दोनों नेताओं ने ऐतिहासिक, महत्वाकांक्षी और आपसी फायदे वाले भारत न्यूजीलैंड मुक्त व्यापार समझौते के सफल समापन की संयुक्त रूप से घोषणा की। मार्च 2025 में न्यूजीलैंड पीएम लक्सन भारत आए थे और इस दौरान बातचीत होने के बाद दोनों नेताओं ने सहमति जताई थी कि 9 महीने के रिकॉर्ड समय में एफटीए का समापन दोनों देशों के बीच संबंधों को और गहरा करने की साझा महत्वाकांक्षा और राजनीतिक इच्छा शक्ति को दर्शाता है। एफटीए द्विपक्षीय आर्थिक जुड़ाव को महत्वपूर्ण रूप से गहरा करेगा, बाजार तक पहुंच बढ़ाएगा, निवेश प्रवाह को बढ़ावा देगा, दोनों देशों के बीच रणनीतिक सहयोग को मजबूत करेगा और विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में दोनों देशों के इनोवेटर्स, उद्यमियों, किसानों, एमएसएमईज, छात्रों और युवाओं के लिए नए अवसर खोलेगा। एफटीए द्वारा दोनों नेताओं ने अगले 5 वर्षों में द्विपक्षीय व्यापार को दोगुना करने के साथ साथ अगले 15 वर्षों में न्यूजीलैंड से भारत में 20 बिलियन अमेरिकी डॉलर के निवेश पर विश्वास व्यक्त किया। राष्ट्रपति द्रौपदी मुर्मू ने विकसित भारत रोजगार और आजीविका मिशन ग्रामीण विकसित भारत जी राम जी बिल 2025 को मंजूरी दे दी है। संसद ने इसे शीतकालीन सत्र के दौरान पास किया था। ये एक्ट ग्रामीण परिवारों के लिए हर वित्तीय वर्ष में वैधानिक मजदूरी रोजगार गारंटी को 125 दिन तक बढ़ाता है। ग्रामीण विकास मंत्रालय ने बताया कि ये ग्रामीण रोजगार नीति में बदलाव की दिशा में एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम है। मंत्रालय ने आगे बताया कि ये कानून सशक्तिकरण, समावेशी विकास, विकास पहलों के तालमेल और सभी जरूरतमंद लोगों को लाभ देने को बढ़ावा देता है। विकसित भारत जी राम जी एक्ट महात्मा गांधी राष्ट्रीय ग्रामीण रोजगार गारंटी एक्ट मनरेगा 2005 की जगह लाया गया है।
मजदूरों को रोजगार देने की पूरी गारंटी है। विकसित भारत के निर्माण के लिए विकसित गांव का संकल्प पूरा करता है। इसमें एक और विशेष प्रावधान है। प्रशासनिक व्यय 6% से बढ़ा के 9% कर दिया गया है। इस राशि से काम कराने वाले हमारे साथी, पंचायत सचिव, रोजगार सहायक, मैं टेक्निकल स्टाफ, उसको समय पर वेतन मिलेगा, भरपूर वेतन मिलेगा, ताकि वो ठीक से काम करा सके।
छत्तीसगढ़ के सुकमा में नक्सलियों की हालत बुरी हो चुकी है। एंटी नक्सल ऑपरेशन में सीआरपीएफ और जिला पुलिस ने नक्सलियों की हथियारों का जखीरा नष्ट कर दिया है। उनकी ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्री में बड़ी मात्रा में सामग्री डंप की गई थी। इसमें 8 नग सिंगल शॉट राइफल हथियार और बड़ी मात्रा में विस्फोटक सामग्री समेत हथियार निर्माण सामग्री उपकरणों को बरामद किया गया है। सटीक खुफिया सूचना के आधार पर चलाए गए सर्च ऑपरेशन में ग्राम मीनागट्टा इलाके के घने जंगल पहाड़ी क्षेत्र में नक्सली इस हथियार फैक्ट्री को चला रहे थे। घटनास्थल से बरामद सामग्री पर नजर डालें तो सिंगल शॉट राइफल 8 नग, 12 बोर कारतूस 15 नग, इलेक्ट्रिक डेटोनेटर 5 नग, कॉर्डेक्स वायर 30 मीटर, मल्टीमीटर 1 नग, सेफ्टी फ्यूज 30 मीटर, पीई के विस्फोटक 2 किलोग्राम, एएनएफओ विस्फोटक 1 किलोग्राम, अमोनियम नाइट्रेट 10 किलोग्राम, 10 वायरलेस वीएचएफ सेट, 8 नग वेल्डिंग मशीन 1 नग, कटर मशीन 1 नग, नक्सली वर्दी और वर्दी निर्माण सामग्री, नक्सली साहित्य तथा संदिग्ध सिंगल शॉट राइफल फैक्ट्री हेतु आवश्यक बड़ी मात्रा में अन्य सामग्री बरामद की गई है। पश्चिम बंगाल में संदेश खाली कांड के मुख्य आरोपी आलिम मुल्ला को गिरफ्तार कर लिया गया है। आरोपी आलिम मुल्ला पर शेख शाहजहां के खिलाफ दर्ज कई मामलों के महत्वपूर्ण गवाह भोला घोष की योजनाबद्ध तरीके से हत्या करने की कोशिश का आरोप है। बीती 10 दिसंबर को जब भोला घोष बशीरहाट उपमंडल अदालत जा रहे थे तब बसंती हाईवे पर एक ट्रक ने उनकी गाड़ी को टक्कर मार दी थी। इस घटना में भोला घोष के छोटे बेटे और ड्राइवर की मौत हो गई थी, जबकि भोला घोष किसी तरह अपनी जान बचाने में सफल रहे थे। इस मामले में भोला घोष ने न्यायाजात थाने में एफआईआर दर्ज कराई है। एफआईआर में 8 लोगों के नाम शामिल थे। उस एफआईआर में पहला नाम आलिम मुल्ला का ही था। भोला घोष का दावा था कि दुर्घटना के समय आलिम ही ट्रक चला रहा था। घटना के 11 दिन बाद पुलिस ने आलिम को गिरफ्तार कर लिया है। मुख्य आरोपी आलिम मुल्ला की गिरफ्तारी के बाद भोला घोष ने पुलिस से सुरक्षा मांगी है।
আমার যন্ত্র তোমাকে সেই সবটা শেয়ার করতে পারবো না বাবা। তুমি নিচে নেমে দেখো, বৌমাটা বসে আছে, ছোট্ট বাচ্চা 5 বছর নাতনিটা দাঁড়িয়ে আছে, শুধু বলছে বাবার বাইকটাই বাবা কই। আমি কি বলবো, ওরা যদি নিছক বাবা আমাকে মেরে ধরে খুন করে দিত আমি কোনো কষ্ট পেতাম না, বয়সটা অনেক হয়ে গেছে। বাবা এর ছেলের অন্তর্জলি চোখে দিচ্ছি, এর চেয়ে কি কষ্ট। প্রশাসনিক আমার আস্থা আছে যে আমার ছেলের সুবিচার পাবো এবং আমি এই আবেদনটা আমি আমার জননেত্রী আমার মুখ্যমন্ত্রী মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়ের কাছে পাঠাতে চাই। ম্যাডাম আমার এটা সুন্দরভাবে দেখবেন এবং আমি যে এখন ভয়ে ভয়ে আছি, আতঙ্ক আছি, আমার যেন আমার পরিবারটা শেষ করে দেবে এখন চিন্তা করছি, আমাকে যেন একটু পুলিশি সহায়তা পাই, এটা আমি দাবি করছি।
पश्चिम बंगाल में मतदाता सूची में गड़बड़ी की शिकायत के बाद चुनाव आयोग ने माइक्रो ऑब्जर्वर तैनात करने के आदेश दिए हैं। ये माइक्रो ऑब्जर्वर केंद्र सरकार या उससे जुड़े केंद्रीय उपक्रमों और केंद्रीय बैंकों के द्वितीय श्रेणी के अधिकारी स्तर के होंगे। ये सभी बीएलओ द्वारा अपलोड किए गए फार्मों की जांच करेंगे। आयोग ने ये भी कहा कि गड़बड़ी मिलने पर अन्य राज्यों में भी तैनाती की जा सकती है। पश्चिम बंगाल, तमिलनाडु, उत्तर प्रदेश सहित 12 राज्यों में SIR का काम चल रहा है। पश्चिम बंगाल में चुनाव आयोग की री-वेरिफिकेशन की प्रक्रिया जारी है। मालदा जिले के प्रखंड विकास अधिकारी का कहना है कि लोगों को परेशान होने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है। प्रक्रिया को निष्पक्ष तरीके से पूरा किया जा रहा है। जिन लोगों के पास पूरे दस्तावेज हैं उनका नाम लिस्ट में ज़रूर शामिल होगा।
ये जो पूरा प्रक्रिया है, पूरा सिस्टम है, ये इलेक्शन कमीशन देख रहा है। उसका टॉप टू बॉटम जो ऑफिशियल्स है, बीएलओ को लेके जब ब्लॉक ओसी इलेक्शन जो है बीडीओ मैडम के अंडर है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जो ओसी इलेक्शन है ये लोग देख रहा है। इधर एक ही काम हो सकता है, जो 2002 साल में जो एसआईआर का जो वोटर लिस्ट था, एसआईआर होने के बाद वो वोटर लिस्ट से रनिंग जो वोटर लिस्ट है, यह नाम का कोई मिसमैच हो सकता है, किसी का टाइटल मिसमैच हो सकता है, ऐसा ही कोई इशू है छोटा खाटा। तो पब्लिक को एक ही बात बोलेंगे, जो आप लोग घबराइए मत, आप लोग अपना स्थिर रखिए, जो डॉक्यूमेंट है वो लेके रखिए। हमारा जो ऑफिशियल्स है सिविल, वो लोग देखेंगे, आप डॉक्यूमेंट सबमिट करेंगे। बंगाल का जो आदमी है हम लोग का, वो उसका हर डॉक्यूमेंट मिलेगा এবং हर डॉक्यूमेंट रहेगा, এবং एसआर होने का बाद देखेगा जो फाइनल जो पब्लिश होगा वोटर लिस्ट, उसमें उसका नाम रहेगा।
अरुणाचल प्रदेश में स्थानीय निकाय चुनाव में सत्तारूढ़ भाजपा ने प्रचंड जीत हासिल की है। 15 दिसंबर को हुए जिला परिषद और ग्राम पंचायतों के चुनावों में भाजपा ने बहुमत हासिल किया। राज्य चुनाव आयोग ने कल रात इस चुनाव के अंतिम परिणाम घोषित किए। भाजपा ने 59 निर्विरोध सीटों सहित जिला परिषद की 245 सीटों में से 170 सीटें जीती। जिला स्तरीय स्थानीय निकायों में भाजपा का स्पष्ट वर्चस्व स्थापित हो गया है। पीपीए 28 सीटों के साथ दूसरी सबसे बड़ी पार्टी बनकर उभरी, जबकि कांग्रेस 7 सीटें जीतने में कामयाब रही। मुख्यमंत्री पेमा खांडू ने भी पार्टी की शानदार जीत के लिए मतदाताओं का आभार व्यक्त किया।
पूरा बीजेपी के परिवार की ओर से अरुणाचल के सभी जनताओं को हृदय से मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैं प्रकट करता हूं। इस बार के जो लोकल बॉडी इलेक्शंस में पंचायत और म्युनिसिपैलिटी में आप लोग ने पूरा थम्पिंग मेजोरिटी के साथ में भारतीय जनता पार्टी का साथ दिया है। इससे ये जरूर साबित होता है कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी जिस प्रकार से अपने अरुणाचल प्रदेश को एक विकसित अरुणाचल बनाने का संकल्प में जो हम लोग चल रहा है, उस संकल्प में, उस रास्ते में हमारे पूरे अरुणाचल के जितने भी जो हमारे बुजुर्ग हैं, जितने भी हमारे माता पिता हैं, जितने भी हमारा युवा दोस्त हैं, आप सब लोग एक साथ जुड़ के हमारा भारतीय जनता पार्टी को आप लोग ने आशीर्वाद दिया है। इसलिए बहुत बहुत हृदय से धन्यवाद।
वृंदावन के लिए बनाया गया श्री बांके बिहारी जी मंदिर न्यास विधेयक साल 2025 में उत्तर प्रदेश का चौथा अधिनियम बन गया है। इस अधिनियम के तहत अब बांके बिहारी कॉरिडोर बनाने के काम में तेजी आएगी। अब उत्तर प्रदेश के डिप्टी सीएम ब्रजेश पाठक ने कहा है कि यूपी में चौतरफा विकास तेजी से हो रहा है। और सीधे आपको ले चलते हैं भारत और न्यूजीलैंड के बीच फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट पर केंद्रीय वाणिज्य मंत्री पीयूष गोयल की प्रेस वार्ता में।
Coming to the gains, 100% tariff lines fully duty-free from New Zealand on entry into force. Our present average with New Zealand is 2.2 in terms of the duties, but that is a bit deceptive as averages are. Our peak tariff for most of the goods that we export to New Zealand, which is textile products, leather, ceramics, carpets, automobiles, was pegged at around 10%. So that is the level of gain that we will experience for our exports to New Zealand in all these areas. This is a new and innovative element in the FTA. We are pegging the access that we have granted, we are pairing it with the agricultural productivity framework in 3 main areas: kiwi, honey and apple. To give you a broad outline, the level of per hectare production in New Zealand compared to that in India is over 5 times. So we thought it essential that since this FTA is about complementarities, we take from New Zealand what it is good at and pair it with something that we are good at. So this agriculture technology cooperation comes from that in 3 areas. We have accorded market access through quotas, further capped with seasonal imports into India, and MIP. My next slide will show the exact details of these quotas. Number 1 is Manuka honey. This is their iconic product. Current is 60%, 66% of duty. We've given them a quota of 200 metric ton, and it has a MIP of $20 and $30 per kg. Apples, our current duty is 50%. Our current imports from New Zealand are 31%. The quota we have given them is 32,500. It will increase to 45,000 in 6 years. Within this quota, they will get a 25% duty. Out of this quota, they go back to the duty of 50%. Once again, this is at a MIP of 1.25 per kg. Kiwi fruit, current applicable duty is 33%. Our current imports are 6.840 metric tons. We start with a quota of 6,250, goes up to 15,000 in 6 years. MIP of 1.8 per kg, and at this it is 0% duty, and out of quota it is 50%, so roughly it will be half of 33%. All these three areas, New Zealand is giving us extensive agri-tech cooperation covering plant management, planting, the orchard management, supply chains, packing, etc. The final quota that we have given in this FTA is on albumins, including milk albumins. The current import levels of New Zealand are around 3,500. We have given a quota starting with 1,000 metric tons. This will have a duty of 11%. Anything outside of this quota will continue to attract 22% duty. Just a pictograph showing the agricultural productivity arrangement with the nuances of how we have built it in. Gains for New Zealand in goods. Presently our average is 6.2%. On entry into force, the average becomes 13.18% in terms of duty, and going on to the 10th year it becomes 9.06%. India has offered market access in 70% of the tariff lines, covering approximately 95% of the current bilateral trade value, and approximately 30% of the tariff lines in India are in exclusion. The products which have been kept in exclusion are mentioned here. Full dairy, the whole dairy chapter is in exclusion, which covers milk, cream, whey, yogurt, cheese. Animal products other than sheep meat, vegetable products, sugar, honey, animal fats, arms, ammunition, gems, jewelry, precious metals, etc. This is a broad table showing the exclusions and what is it that we have given them against each category. Exclusions, I've already covered that. Tariff elimination immediate, where they have a reduction in tariff as soon as the FTA comes into force. These are typically for wood products, for wool, for sheep, meat, leather, raw hides. This was a huge demand of our leather industry here in India. Phased, what is phased over a period of time, which is petroleum oil, vegetable oil, etc. Reduction, wine, pharma, polymers, iron and steel, honey, apple, albumins is what is in quota, and this is what India has given to New Zealand. Services and mobility, key gains. This is a big takeaway from the FTA. 118 sectors have been given from the New Zealand side. This is EU plus because they have also given us audiovisual services. There is a special annex on health and traditional medicine services. In terms of mobility, a huge win for the students. There is no cap on the number of students going there. We have locked in at least 20 hours per week in terms of work rights for Indian students. So even if there's a local legislation which brings it down to 15, it still stays 20. Presently, I'll put it on the table. In November, they put in 25, but that is only there for a limited period of time. Post-study work visas goes up to 4 years in the case of a doctorate degree. Temporary employment entry, there is a quota of 5,000 visas. This again is something New Zealand has never given any other country. A comparator is China, which got around 2,000 visas. Work holiday visas is for 1,000 young Indians annually for a period of 12 months. India, from our side, has given 106 services and an MFN treatment in 45. Gains in other chapters for India. Number one, investment. New Zealand has committed to increase investment to 20 billion into India over 15 years and this is FTA style, this comes with a rebalancing mechanism in case it doesn't get fulfilled. One thing I'd like to point out here, because it for a comparison, from 2000 to 2025, New Zealand has invested roughly 90 million into India. So this is a substantive figure. We have got annexes on pharmaceutical and medical devices, which provides us expedited pathways, because now they recognize that if we have certifications from EU, UK, US, Canada, any of the regulators, then they will cut down the process for clearing our medicines, our medical devices. Presently, it takes 3 to 4 years there. IPR, this is another big win. They have agreed to amend their laws to give space to our GIs by making it in terms of EU parity. Organic primary products, we have entered into an interim MRA, and a more detailed one will be worked out. They will recognize whatever Australia has, with which we've got a full MRA. Economic and technical assistance across all areas which the two countries can help each other, including audiovisual industries. We know that the film industry is big into shooting there, tourism, sports, etc. Custom and trade facilitation, one of the things we do learn through FTAs is how to improve our systems. This is a part of that. So in this, the Indian customs, and as well as that side, has committed that 48 hours and 24 hours is what they will take to clear express shipment and perishable goods. MSMEs, a huge win, a cooperation from the New Zealand side on building linkages, incubators, and plugging in trade-related information. Rules of origin, once again, it's a balanced, robust framework. And the last, cultural trade, traditional economic cooperation chapter, is what we have built in terms of pushing our Ayush, our cultural, tribal affairs, and wellness into the New Zealand landscape. There are 7 side letters in the agreement. One is on wine, one is the working holiday visa, one is a comparable regulators which they have listed in pharmaceuticals, the other one which they've listed in medical, the letter on geographical indicators, and a side letter on MRA in organics, and a side letter on consultations related to the dairy sector in the FTA. Strategic significance, very quickly, New Zealand helps us because it's a part of the Pacific Island country, and with the tariffs coming down, now our exporters can take advantage of a combined logistics, costing, and the combined economy of, let's say, Australia, New Zealand. By 2045, it is understood that they will have a huge demand of workers, and this is an opportunity for India to position itself as a key supplier for both skilled and semi-skilled workers. Pathways have been created for our Indian traditional medicine systems, that is Ayush. New Zealand, as a developed country, is part of many networks and organizations around the world, and our FTA with them helps us leverage that. There's a tariff preference for Indian goods into New Zealand finally comes. So far, exporters were struggling with the fact that the other countries had zero duties and we did not. So that's a plus for them. And this will help us leverage a deeper footprint in the Oceania region and work towards Viksit Bharat. Way forward, Commerce Secretary already mentioned, subject to our mutual agreement, we will be putting out the text in the coming days on an agreed date. There are processes to be completed on both sides, domestic processes. Once that is done, we would be going for signing, and EIF sometimes next year, little after the middle July, August, is a tentative day we are looking at. As of now, it's not decided. A quick recap, services of mobility, already mentioned that, 20 hours a week, post-study work visa, professionals, our students get global exposure, career growth, working holiday visa, and pioneering health and traditional medicine trade there. This is, the next 4 or 5 slides are product-wise. Peak duty on agriculture and processed foods was around 5%. Now with the FTA coming in, it comes down to 0. It helps us access the New Zealand market in all these products: cereals, processed foods, fruits and vegetables. Textiles and clothing, once again the peak duty was 10%. We have exports there at 98 million. New Zealand has a larger import capacity, and hopefully with 0 duties we can leverage that. Leather and footwear, similar situation, peak duty was 10%, and with this we can leverage the bigger market there. Pharmaceuticals, I have already mentioned, is a big win, and their imports are 1.4 billion in the last 3 years. Given our strength in this is an area we hope to capture. Engineering sector, it's a huge market in New Zealand of 11 billion. We are only at about 47 to 68 million in terms of our exports, and with duties now reducing to 0, this is an area which we hope to move ahead in terms of our export. And finally, the marine sector. New Zealand is traditionally more alive compared to India in the marine sector, but this is an area we can look at moving ahead on. And finally, the plastic and rubber industry, 10% peak duty, now down to 0. They have a 2.5 billion capacity to import, and our objective is to move beyond the 23 million that we are presently importing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Minister Sir to guide us as to how to look at this landmark agreement that we have reached.
Thank you, and a big congratulations to all of you and the nation under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership. This is the 7th free trade agreement. All of them with developed economies with significantly larger per capita incomes than India, demonstrating that we are expanding trade relations rapidly with countries who complement the Indian economy rather than compete with India. I was just seeing Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi's tweet, and below the tweet in the comments there's a very nice comment with which I would like to begin. And the person says, big move, fast execution, wasn't talk, it was intent. The FTA turns New Zealand ties from friendly to formidable, especially for trade, innovation and youth-driven growth. One of the first few responses to Prime Minister Modi's tweet that I just read and found interesting, hence I share it with you. Friends, this is a free trade agreement with New Zealand which is both comprehensive and forward-looking, reflecting the vision of our two leaders, Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Luxon, to elevate the relations to much higher strategic levels, much more comprehensively, which will not only include trade, education, R&D and innovation, services sector in a very big way, tourism, sports. It's a very multifarious engagement, particularly to benefit our farmers and dairy through technical collaboration, which will help them upgrade quality, productivity, and therefore the incomes of our farmers and dairy persons. Friends, it's a historic and landmark FTA because it's not only concluded in a record time of 9 months. With a developed economy, we are all aware it usually takes much longer. But more importantly, it has 2 or 3 very interesting elements. One, it is our first FTA, which is led by a completely almost non-women, non-men team. It's a women-led FTA. The chief negotiator was our senior colleague, Joint Secretary Petal. All the track leads were largely women, and I must compliment our women of substance taking a lead in finalizing this agreement. Thank you very much. It's also our third FTA with a Five Eyes nation: Australia, UK, and now New Zealand. We are soon going to launch discussions for the terms of reference with Canada also. And we are already at an advanced stage in our discussions with the USA. This reflects the growing strategic importance of India in world geopolitics. One must also recognize that this nation, with a smaller population, smaller GDP, has high growth potential. Our current trade being a small proportion of their overall trade in goods and services, the upside that is available for us is very huge, both in goods and in services. And having gained access in a large number of service areas, including audiovisual, and 100% access in goods, we see tremendous potential for doubling this trade in the next 5 years, possibly greater than doubling this trade. And our complementary strengths between New Zealand and India, whether in agri-tech, whether in food processing, whether in clean energy and renewable energy, whether through mining, whether through our talent and skills of our young professionals, opportunities for dual degrees and setting up campuses of prestigious universities in India, while also encouraging Indian students to go to New Zealand and gain high quality education, and promoting MSME manufacturing in India. This FTA provides opportunities for all sections of our export community, opens up new doors for new exporters with new products wishing to diversify their export basket, and at the same time helps every region of the country, north, south, east, west, northeast, in different areas. It has some very interesting new elements of technical collaboration in fruit cultivation, in honey production, and other areas, including dairy, where they will bring latest modern technology to India to help our farmers, our dairy persons increase their incomes. It will certainly be a great boost for labor-intensive sectors like textiles, apparel, home decor, footwear, rubber and leather, while also encouraging export of automobiles, auto components, machinery, electronic goods, electricals, pharmaceuticals and chemicals. This shows you the wide range of products that will benefit, particularly areas where either there were high duties or some areas where there were barriers to trade, which we have both agreed to simplify and smoothen for faster access to their market. In terms of mobility, you are well aware, students who go to New Zealand to study will now be eligible for a 2-year work visa if they take a degree course, 3-year work visa if they take a bachelor's degree with honors, a 3-year work visa if they graduate in STEM disciplines, science, technology, engineering and mathematics, and a 4-year work visa when they do postgraduate studies in New Zealand. It's also interesting that almost 5,000 of our professionals who are yoga instructors, chefs, Ayush professionals, IT or educational teachers, nurses, caregivers will get professional visas for serving the New Zealand economy. We have also been able to open up 118 sectors which will also give us an opportunity to participate in tourism, IT, telecom, audiovisual, etc. We are very happy to report back to the nation that for pharmaceutical products, there will be a fast-track mechanism for approval of Indian pharmaceutical products, which will open up the doors to the New Zealand market and help us capture a larger share of their current imports of pharmaceuticals and medicines, drugs. They have also agreed to mutually accept good manufacturing practices which are approved in India by US, UK, EU or Canada, so that products or companies approved by these countries will get faster access in the New Zealand market. We have also been successful in negotiating collaboration in traditional medicine, the Ayush stream of wellness and medication, and this will open up good opportunities for healthcare, preventive healthcare, wellness and traditional medicines, which is India's area of strength. Friends, our farmers stand to gain hugely both through market access in New Zealand and through technology collaborations. Similarly, for our fishermen, our dairy persons, and giving a very small conditional TRQ, very small volume of concessional duty exports on a few products, we have been able to open up large vistas of market access and technology collaboration and benefit from New Zealand. In fact, we visited some of their farms where kiwis are produced. Many of them are run by our own hard-working farmers from Punjab and Uttarakhand. And I was amazed to see the quality and productivity. And they have assured to come down to India and help India gain similar productivity and technology benefits for our kiwi producers, for our apple producers, for our honey manufacturers and other agricultural products, including dairy. Friends, we have been very sensitive to protect all the sectors like farmers' interests in rice, wheat, dairy, soya, and various other farmer products, agricultural products, which have not been opened up with any access. We have also been very conscious of ensuring that our MSMEs and our startups, innovators get big opportunities in New Zealand. It's a win-win agreement, and I can assure the people of India that under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's very, very focused approach and guidance towards making India a greater player on the world stage, making India's industry, farming sector, agriculture sector and services sector an international player of relevance. We are negotiating free trade agreements and comprehensive partnerships strategically with countries who have significant incomes, with countries who offer large market opportunities, and undoubtedly these agreements will play a very important role in the Amrit Kal as we all work collectively as a nation of 1.4 billion people, as 140 crore Indians work towards our goal of Viksit Bharat 2047. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll take questions now. Please raise your hand, introduce yourself, and then ask one question per person to begin with. We begin with Sumita. You raise your hand first.
On the New Zealand.
Sorry, India-New Zealand FTA.
Congratulations, sir. I'm Sumita from ET. Now, just want to understand a bit more on the commitment of investments of $20 billion that New Zealand has pledged over the next 15 years. Which sectors is New Zealand sort of prioritizing as far as these investments are concerned? Thank you.
You want to better give them some information on that?
Thank you. They are investing 20 billion over 15 years. Broadly, it is going to be in the area of manufacture, infrastructure, but we have left it open to them to decide which areas they would like to pursue as the time evolves.
Incidentally, just want to clarify that this $20 billion we must see in the context of the size of the New Zealand economy. So far, in the last 25 years, New Zealand has only invested $70 million, 70 million. In terms of rupees, this is close to 630 crore rupees only. So they are committing to invest now 1,80,000 crores. So from 630 crore investment over 25 years, New Zealand has committed to invest 1,80,000 crores in the next 15 years. When you see this in context, you recognize what a big gain it is for India. This will open up, as I said, collaboration in several sectors, particularly benefiting our farmers, our dairy, and our MSMEs. At the same time, I want you to appreciate that this will include investments in education, in sports, in service sectors, opening up large opportunities for our youth and opening up for us training facilities, skill development, and many other areas which will really help our youth, men and women, our youngsters. Incidentally, their minister, when he visited Mumbai for the second last round of our discussions, actually inaugurated a cricket sports tournament where journalists were competing against each other. So it was a tournament under the Sansad Khel Mahotsav that Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs have been encouraging all the MPs to have. And their minister inaugurated a journalists competition on cricket. A doctors competition. It was amongst doctors. We also had one separately for journalists. This one was for doctors in Mumbai. And interestingly, he chose to bat and requested me to bowl and got bowled, clean bowled on the second ball, I think. But that was on a lighter note. He has promised to practice better. I have promised that I'll have to start learning cricket, which is not a sport I'm very good at, and we're going to do one more match to celebrate the free trade agreement. Why I mention this, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are making a pitch for Olympics in 2036. We already have the Commonwealth Games in 2030. Sports will be a big area of collaboration and investment from New Zealand, and I would encourage Indian young startups and youngsters who are looking to go into the sports fraternity to look at this agreement very carefully and take interest in this. Yes, I would very much like to clarify. This is similar to the free trade agreement with the FTA countries, the TIPA with FTA countries, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Norway and Iceland. This will be only in terms of FDI, long-term sustaining capital. It does not include FPI or FII money into stock market investments, which can come and go. This is FDI investment, sustainable long-term investment, and with a clawback clause similar to FTA nations, that if they do not invest, there will be a clawback of benefits.
सर मैं लक्ष्मण से NBC आवाज से ये फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट होने के बाद न्यूजीलैंड से के साथ हमारा बायलैटरल ट्रेड सर्टेन टाइम फ्रेम में 5 साल या 10 साल में कितना बढ़ जाएगा अभी के मुकाबले?
5 साल में आज के दिन जो निर्धारित किया है, हमने सोचा है कि आज के ट्रेड को हम डबल करें, गुड्स और सर्विसेज दोनों में, यानी $5 बिलियन तक लेके जाएं बायलैटरल ट्रेड को, द्विपक्षीय व्यापार को। लेकिन जो मैंने अनुभव किया है, बड़ा बिजनेस डेलीगेशन लेके मैं न्यूजीलैंड गया था और उनका भी बड़ा बिजनेस डेलीगेशन भारत आया, आपसी संबंध बढ़ाए गए, आपसी वार्तालाप भी हुआ है और दोनों तरफ के उत्साह को देखते हुए मेरा अनुमान है कि शायद 5 बिलियन से ज्यादा हम 5 साल में अचीव कर लेंगे और आगे चल के 10 साल का अगर हम परिप्रेक्ष्य देखें तब तक उनकी FDI इन्वेस्टमेंट्स भी आनी शुरू हो जाएगी। उनके मन में ये भी है बड़े पैमाने पे यहाँ निवेश करके अपनी टेक्नोलॉजीज को भारत में लगाना और उसके माध्यम से पूरी दुनिया की मार्केट में भारत से अपने सामान को बेचना या अपनी सर्विसेज को लेके जाना। तो न्यूजीलैंड के द्विपक्षीय व्यापार में तो बढ़त आएगी आएगी, लेकिन इसके कारण बाकी देशों में भी हमारा निर्यात बड़े पैमाने पे बढ़ेगा।
अमिति।
Hi sir, Amity from Hindu Business Line. Sir, like in all the other FTAs, we have managed to protect our dairy sector in the New Zealand one as well. I just wanted to understand the significance of the side letters, sir, since there is one on discussions on dairy.
Well, it's just that if we ever give dairy concessions, and you're all aware we have not opened up dairy in a single FTA for anybody. They were concerned that if we open up dairy for some other comparable economy, where the per capita GDP is similar, the size of the economy is similar, the dairy production level is similar to New Zealand, then at least they should have an opportunity to discuss with us whether we can extend similar benefits to them. A, India is never going to open up dairy, so that concern really doesn't matter. B, it's only a consultation, no commitment. Incidentally, we have also done an agreement to promote greater investments, that they should bring their raw materials or ingredients to India, process them and create high quality dairy products in India, and 100% of that will be re-exported from India. What I just mentioned about investment flow. That way, this will help us not only increase exports to New Zealand, but their investments will help us to increase exports and become a dairy exporter to other parts of the world. And that will be through a fast-track mechanism, because we would like to fast-track investments coming in for the purpose of re-export.
Shruti.
I just wanted clarity on the mobility thing. The 5,000 visas, these are temporary visas over and above what we get as a mode 4 right now? Yes. This is additional.
That's right. The mode 4 visas that we get is for provision of services under the 118 sectors that we have opened up. These are sectors which are traditionally not there in the opening up of 118 sectors. Like if a lot of Indian restaurants all over the world, including in New Zealand, particularly in their tourism places. And we are all aware how much Indian food is becoming the preferred food of choice worldwide. So our chefs will get very good opportunity to go there and take Indian delicacies to New Zealanders. By the way, remember that a chef going there is not just one chef going there. As more and more Indian foods become popular, It promotes export of our tea, our coffee, our fruits, our vegetables, our spices. All of these also get promoted in terms of export potential.
राजीव कुमार जी।
सर राजीव हूँ दैनिक जागरण से। सर मेरा सवाल है, आज हमने न्यूजीलैंड के साथ कंक्लूड किया, इससे पहले जस्ट ओमान के साथ किया, उससे पहले यूके के साथ किया, और ये सारे जो हमारे FTA हैं या सीपा है वो अगले साल इंप्लीमेंट हो जाएंगे। तो आप नेक्स्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर में इंडियन निर्यात को किस लेवल पे देखते हैं? और दूसरा जो लगातार हम और भी कई पाइपलाइन में हमारे FTA जो अगले साल सर कंक्लूड हो जाएगा, तो और दूसरा क्या ये लगातार FTA जो हो रहा है इससे क्या US हमारे साथ जल्दी निगोशिएट करने के लिए तैयार हो सकता है? और
आज हम न्यूजीलैंड का फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं आपके साथ, और मुझे विश्वास है कि और बहुत मौके मिलेंगे ऐसे ही सेलिब्रेट करने के अन्य विकसित देशों के साथ, अन्य देशों के समूह के साथ FTA सेलिब्रेट करने के, और देश का व्यापार अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर और भारत के अंदर भी उसकी गुणवत्ता, क्वालिटी सुधरे, उसकी पोटेंशियल बढ़े, और भारत में नई नौकरियों के, रोजगार के अवसर बने, यहाँ का व्यापार बढ़े, यहाँ की MSME सेक्टर को नई टेक्नोलॉजी से हम और आगे लेके जा सके। इस सब के लिए ढेर सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज ऑलरेडी आई हैं, आगे चल के और आएंगी, और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का रिफॉर्म एक्सप्रेस निरंतर बड़ी तेजी से आगे बढ़ता रहेगा, देश को नई ऊंचाइयों पे लेके जाएगा, और 140 करोड़ भारतवासियों के संकल्प को, विकसित भारत 2047 तक बनाने के संकल्प को 100% अचीव करेगा, उसमें सक्सेसफुल होगा। थैंक यू।
Concluding remarks by CS sir. Would you like to say something? Thank you, friends. We have lunch for you. Do join us for lunch after this, and then you can file us to your stories. Thank you.
तो भारत और न्यूजीलैंड के बीच फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट पर केंद्रीय वाणिज्य मंत्री पीयूष गोयल ने प्रेस वार्ता की और बताया कि भारत और न्यूजीलैंड के बीच कृषि के क्षेत्र में सहयोग बढ़ेगा। साथ ही FTA से द्विपक्षीय आर्थिक सहयोग को भी बढ़ावा मिलेगा। 15 वर्षों में न्यूजीलैंड से $20 अरब के निवेश का लक्ष्य तय किया गया है, और ये समझौता दोनों देशों के बीच निवेश साझेदारी को मजबूत करेगा। FTA भारत को ग्लोबल वेलनेस हब के रूप में स्थापित करता है। पीयूष गोयल ने आगे बताया कि कनाडा के साथ भी बातचीत आगे बढ़ाने की जो कदम है वो उठाए जा रहे हैं। इसके साथ ही इस प्रसारण में फिलहाल इतना ही। दीजिए इजाजत। नमस्कार।